Hello and welcome to another PlanetDestiny exotic weapon review. Today we'll be taking a look at the new and improved form of Bad Juju. Bad Juju is an exotic pulse rifle that is rewarded from Toland's Legacy exotic bounty. Before the recent exotic changes, it was a rifle that was really only used as the punchline of jokes. However, it is now a rifle that really feels more than worthy of its lengthy quest line and it's found a place in my loadout. The good. Bad Juju is really built around the String of Curses perk. The newest update added the ability to increase your super energy on kills to this perk. So now in addition to automatically reloading the weapon on a kill and increasing the damage on a kill, it will now bring your super energy up a bit quicker. This perk really starts to shine in some of the swarm encounters, like the first fight in the Crota's End raid. I'll always have my super up and I can effectively never reload as long as I hit my targets. When the weapon reloads, it doesn't take ammo from your reserve either, which means you're never really going to run out of ammo for your primary as long as you keep landing killing blows on targets. The magazine size was also upgraded in the patch, increasing it to 24 rounds. This is just fabulous. It's a great reprieve from the 15 rounds that the magazine used to have. With the high fire rate of 73, you can actually miss a burst or two and just not feel punished like you used to with the low mag size. The magazine will give you a total of 8 bursts before you have to reload, which means you can actually take out a tier 2 enemy now and take advantage of the String of Curses perk. This weapon also fires in full auto. The high fire rate plus full auto allows for some very quick damage on enemies, especially if you're able to land all those as precision shots. You can just quickly headshot an enemy, move to the next one, and then move to the next one. Let's get into the bad section now. The thing that really keeps this weapon from ascending into the top tier of exotics is its low impact of 7. This really becomes an issue when facing anything above a tier 1 enemy. You just end up having to take too many shots to really bring them down, even if you're only consistently landing headshots. In PvP, the low impact makes the weapon just really unusable in my opinion. Body shots will hit your target 3 times for 16 damage, totaling to 48 damage. If you're able to hit headshots, they will be hitting 24 for each headshot, totaling to 72 damage. While this does sound actually pretty high numbers, you have to keep in mind that this is a pulse rifle, so you won't be landing every single shot from that burst outside of ideal situations. You end up struggling for pretty much every single kill. You have to perfectly line up your recoil so it hits all headshots, and if you have the skill to do that, then honestly, you should really just be using a hand cannon or scout rifle since those will have a much lower time to kill. The String of Curses perk also requires you to get the killing blow. While it doesn't really become apparent during solo play, if you're in a strike or raid and have people killing your targets, it gets really frustrating to have to keep reloading, not get a damage buff, and not charge your super. The perks don't really allow for a lot of customization either. To make the most of the weapon, you really want to kill things as quickly as possible, which means you want your shots to all land on precision points. Going with higher stability is really the best way to go about this, but that means you can't try and get the higher range from Send It or the higher impact and penetration from armor-piercing rounds. Cosmetic-wise, this gun actually received a buff to cosmetics. The particle effect on the front of the gun has been toned way down, so it no longer interferes with the normal handling of the weapon. It used to be a pain when you simply couldn't see enemies that were shooting your face off directly in front of you. The other cosmetics on the weapon are unchanged from the previous version. The sights are still nice and bright, and the sound is interesting but doesn't really stand out a whole lot. Here's some damage numbers. In PvP, body shots will only be doing 16 times 3 damage, so a total of 48 damage from a full burst. Headshots will be doing 24 times 3 damage, so 72 total damage from a full burst. It'll take 2 full bursts to the head and 1 to the body to take someone out in PvP. Now more times than not, it's going to just take multiple body shots to actually take someone out, and you may have 1 or 2 rounds from a burst land on their head. In PvE, on level 30 mobs with Bad Juju fully upgraded, tier 1 mobs will take 107 times 3 body damage, totaling 321. Headshots will be 321 times 3, totaling 963. With the damage buff from the String of Curses perk, body shots will be doing 123 times 3 damage, totaling 369 damage. Headshots will be 369 times 3, totaling 1,107 damage. So it'll take about 1 or 2 bursts depending on the amount of headshots that you actually land. For tier 2 level 30 enemies, body shots will be doing 107 times 3, totaling 321 damage. Headshots will be doing 161 times 3, totaling 483 damage. With the damage buff from String of Curses, body shots will be doing 123 times 3 damage, totaling 369 damage. Headshots will be doing about 193 times 3 damage, totaling 579 damage. It's going to take about 6 to 8 bursts, depending on how many headshots and how many body shots from your bursts land on the target to take out that tier 2 mob. Alright, let's take a look at some of the perks that Bad Juju has. It starts out with full auto baseline. You don't have to actually level up to get this perk, it just comes straight out of the box full auto mode. It also does kinetic damage. Now the first thing you're going to get here is smooth ballistics, less recoil, penalty to range. You end up kind of just going down the tree for the most part when you get this. Next one you're going to get is soft ballistics, less recoil, penalty to impact. I don't really recommend this one since all it really does is just increase the range and then hurt the weapon's impact a little bit more. The recoil is also a little bit more side to side, so you're not going to be able to land headshots as consistently. Then you get smart drift control, predictable and controllable recoil, penalty to range. For a slight range decrease and for a pretty massive stability increase, I really recommend you getting this perk. It makes the recoil more go in an up and down straight line. You're not having to work against the weapon as much with this. Then we have our hip fire perk. This weapon has bonus accuracy while firing from the hip. I'm not a huge fan of this upgrade on any weapon for the most part because you really want to be landing precision damage, and especially with this rifle. So while it's nice to take out one or two like smaller enemies that are close to you with hip fire, don't rely on this to consistently land precision shots. Then we have our damage upgrade. Now we get into this tree. The first upgrade you're going to get is armor piercing rounds. Iridium core rounds over-penetrate targets. Their mass slows down weapon handling. I'm not a huge fan of this perk because while it does slightly increase the impact and, over-penetrate your targets, the other two perks in the tree just make for a much better time when using this weapon. The next perk we have here is Send It, increased range and accuracy. I'm a fan of this perk, but unfortunately I feel the next one coming up in the tree just kind of outweighs it. While it's nice to have increased range and accuracy, the stability of the weapon is still kind of low, even if you've gone with smart drift control. So I end up just going with perfect balance. This weapon has extremely low recoil. While you don't have as much of range, your stability is almost completely maxed, so you can at least land your shots really consistently, even at a higher range than you would be able to with Send It. Then we have our String of Curses perk. After each kill, this weapon will reload instantly and increase damage for a short time. Kills will help charge your super. It doesn't charge your super a whole bunch, but it is noticeable. The big thing though, that after each kill this weapon will reload instantly. This doesn't take ammo from your reserve, it just kind of pulls it out of the ether. This is really nice because as long as you're consistently killing stuff, you're really never going to run out of ammo. The damage increase is also nice. I believe it's similar to the crowd control one where it's about 20-ish% damage increase. For the first encounter of the raid in Crota's End, like this perk right here makes the weapon and makes it so easy to use. You kill one thrall, and then you can just pretty much solo the rest of the place. I've stood off in some of the side rooms for upwards of 5 minutes just killing all the thralls that come in just because I was bored. In conclusion, despite the low impact and lack of upgrade options, Bad Juju is a weapon that can work its way into a few classes' loadouts. A high intellect build in PvE can yield very fun results, especially Voidwalkers with the Obsidian Mind Helm. You can just use your super pretty much continuously with that plus the Bad Juju. You just need to recognize if the encounter you're in is going to work along with Bad Juju. If there are a lot of tier 2 enemies, then it would probably be best just to switch to a weapon with higher impact. I wouldn't really recommend using this gun in PvP though, as the low impact really just makes for an incredibly difficult time killing anything quickly outside of that perfect medium range. If you find yourself with this weapon bounty, then go ahead and go through that long quest line. You're rewarded with a really fun and interesting weapon that can help you try out some new specs and playstyles. I hope you enjoyed this review. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.